Looks like Maurizio Pochettino is the new Chelsea manager, and we get there. Here we go. This is music to my ears when I hear Fabrizio Romano drop those bars. Here we go. And more importantly, there's a little leak. There's some little information coming out about the 4 critical positions with names attached to them that Chelsea are going to try to sign this summer. And more importantly, I think this is the biggest part of all. Bella Silva, not Thiago Silva, Bella Silva confirms that they are staying at Stamford Bridge. Let's go. Welcome to the Kavkas View, bro. So here, a lot of you are going to say, Alex, you're very happy today. Well, number one, Chelsea didn't lose a game yesterday and they didn't ruin a weekend. So I need to be happy. We ain't had many of these this summer. But more importantly, and this is the key thing here, we're starting to see a shape for what's going to happen next year. We're starting to get ideas. We're starting to get little peanuts chucked at us. And it's a lot to talk about and a lot to actually get very optimistic about. So if you're a Chelsea fan that wants to be optimistic and wants to be excited for next season, brothers, stay here. But if you want to be someone that's doom and gloom, yeah, take your bad energy and get lost, okay? Because here, today, we've got positive vibes, but realism and excitement. So hit the like button if you're happy and positive today. Just hit it right now because we're aiming for 1,000. Subscribe to the channel, and more importantly, in the pinned comment is my Instagram. Go and follow me there. I'm almost on 1,000 followers, and more importantly, it's a great way for us to build a community. You lot hit me up with football related questions, and it's a great way for you lot to just keep tabs on what other videos I could be doing. Now, let's move on with it. So late last night, Ornstein decided that he was going to give us a little present and said, number one, we are getting for a close appointment from Mopo. Maurizio Pochettino is going to become the next Chelsea manager. Later on in the evening, Fabrizio Romano dropped those magic words that we all love to hear. Here we go. The rumors are that Maurizio Pochettino is going to sign a 2-year deal with 1+ year. This is big news for me because we've really made a full U-turn. I think Bowley and co have really understood the error in their ways. I think they were very big on understanding that the critical thing here is that we want a big project, is a 6-year contract, and then they got bitten in the bum when they had to literally pay people out, sack Potter, and pay him out eventually. So what they're doing now is doing what the old regime used to do. You got 2 years plus an option for us, but more importantly, we'll renegotiate and get your wages up at a later date if you overachieve, but if you suck, we'll sack you. I think this is the way to go. Very organized, very calculated. A lot of you are going to explain to me, Alex, what's going on here? Why has this been so delayed? Well, Ben Jacobs has got you guys. And listen, I'm your YouTube dietitian. I collate the information and I bring it to you lot in one concise manner. So Ben Jacobs says one of the reasons why it took so long to be announced is because Maurizio Pochettino had doubts about Chelsea's recruitment technique. He literally felt uneasy about the way we're recruiting players, the way we're going after players, and it looked very clustered. We all agree, Maurizio. We've been saying this for a while. Ben Jacobs is saying that Maurizio had to be convinced that Lawrence Stewart, who worked with Paul Mitchell at Monaco in the past, is the correct man for the job, and that he is somebody that he can work with, associate with, and more importantly, collaborate with. And this is good. I think Maurizio is asking the right question. He's making sure that he doesn't get overstepped. He's making sure that the players that are coming in are of a similar ideology that he shares. And more importantly, the people in the boardroom, when Stanley, Verville, and Stewart all agree with him, and they're holistically agreed on a vertical and holistic basis. For me, that sounds perfect. This is them planning for the long term. This is actually smart. Paul Mitchell is not going to be coming in. This is coming from Ben Jacobs. The club do not want to add another cook into the kitchen. Very smart. We've covered this in the past. We've got too many cooks. We literally have too many people trying to show off, trying to say, listen, we should sign this one, we should sign this one, we should sign this one, and nothing gets done. And the reality is we either overcook it or we undercook it. So in this case, keep what you have. We need to build. Let them do their jobs now. And that's the reality. And in 2-3 years' time, we can evaluate it and say, you know what? This isn't working. We need to go get another entity. And in this case, it worked. What else is interesting is that Maurizio Pochettino decided that he's going to collaborate with Frank Lampard till the end of the season. Frank is going to see the last 3 games out, and I think at this stage now, it makes sense. The last 3 games are Manchester City, Manchester United, and Newcastle. Coming in now against those 3 teams is just a problem waiting to happen. So let Frank get slapped up by those teams, because it's going to look like he's going to. Let him receive those wages that he was dying for, that's why he came back, and let him try to keep intact any sort of a reputation he has as a manager for any future jobs, and then Maurizio will take over. But for now, they're going to be collaborating. He's most probably going to be at training. He's going to be in the stands. It's good. Finally, apparently the players are very excited to see. This is some sort of, in my opinion, a media feed. I don't believe that the players are over the moon for Mauricio Pochettino, because some of them ain't worked with him, some of them ain't worked, I most probably have met him, so I don't know what they're really excited about. Some of them don't even know what their future holds. So I think this is just more of a Chelsea feed into Ben Jacobs, and Ben Jacobs just regurgitating what they told him. But that's just my personal opinion. A lot of you most probably say, you know what, Alex, you're wrong. These people want to work with Mauricio Pochettino. He's a fantastic manager. Why wouldn't they? So you take it as it is. But I know you lot came here for these 4 names, right? So you guys came here because you most probably saw the 4 targets that Mauricio Pochettino is going to be chasing have leaked. And what I like about this is we're linked with 2 midfielders, we're linked with a goalkeeper, and we're linked with a number 9. This is the positions that I would personally try to reinforce. I think we need to add some elements into this team. And for me, the goalkeeper, let's start there. They want to get Emiliano Martinez. Emiliano Martinez is a very good goalkeeper. He's strong, he's big, he's composing, he's got the it factor, great on penalties, which if we're going to go deep in cup run and tournaments, we're going to need a goalkeeper with some charisma and some character. I think that's very important. He stinks of a leader as well. He's very cocky. I like that in my goal. Yes, sometimes he needs to get humbled, but the reality is when he's a prick on the other team, in our team, he's a lovable character. That always is the case. No one likes the guy that goes around talking the most nonsense until he's on your team and winning trophies and he's talking nonsense for you. So for me, I don't have any problems with us trying to acquire him. I think he would be a great signing. My issue is how we're going to get him, because I think Villa have got money. And what Villa is showing to the world is they are serious. They mean business, and they're going to try to acquire more players to add and build with Unai Emery. So that's going to be a tough one. But he wants to force his way out. Number 2, we're linked with Declan Rice. Declan Rice is a player that a lot of people don't like. And I think a lot of this is driven by the fact that Declan Rice is integrated with Mason Mount. I think a lot of people look at him and say, oh, he's Mason's boy, he's the only reason we're being linked. I think that's wrong. I think Mason Mount, Declan Rice is a phenomenal player. I genuinely think he's really improved technically. I still don't think he's creme de la creme when it comes to playing out the back. A lot of people are going to throw stats at me. I think it's completely different when you're in a possession-based team or when you're in a West Ham. But I think he's physically imposing. He's got PMP for days, pace and power. He's good in the air. He poses a threat from corners. He's good, helps us defend corners. He covers the ground and wins the ball back. And more importantly, he has leadership and character. I think that is also important in the team. If we're building a spine, we need a team of leaders. We need X factors. I think he has it. Whether we can acquire him, that's another question. Pochettino can ask for these players, but whether we go and pay the £120 million and go secure him, I don't know. But that's another player that we've been chasing for years now, apparently, allegedly, and now we're going to go and get him. I want to see what happens here. Number 2, McAllister. So apparently number 3, McAllister. Alexis McAllister at Brighton is another player that we're linked with. I don't see this one happening. Reason being is, I see Alexis McAllister moving. I think in his contract, he's got a £55 million release clause to a top half club. We're not a top half club at this moment in time. So I don't know how he's going to work around this. But the reality is, McAllister would fit into a Pochettino team very well, especially if we play in a 4-3-3. I think if you have a Declan Rice, an Enzo, and a McAllister, it works. It's nice. It gives you that little bit of balance. It gives you that little bit of pizzazz. Personally, I would really love a 4-2-3-1 with, and this is me before you lot all jump on my neck, I would love it with Declan Rice next to Enzo, and then you have a number 10 in someone like a Joao Felix. That for me would be phenomenal. I really would love that. Joao picking up the pockets, Enzo having that free role of when we're in possession to drift around, inflow in crosses, Joao literally in the pockets, getting fed the ball, have a number 9 that likes to press, likes to work hard for the team, but is predominantly in the box. It could work. I like the idea of it. I don't know about you lot. That's just for me. I understand that. So I would be wary of the Alexis McAllister move. I don't like that move. Personally, I think we need 1 midfielder. We don't need 2. A lot of people are going to say, Alex, you're wrong. I don't know. That's just my opinion. And the final player we linked with is Lautaro Martinez. This is a player that's really, really interesting for me because Lauti, as Romelu calls him, is very inconsistent. Every time I've seen Lauti play, I either leave uber impressed or I leave like, this kid is crap. I never get an in-between performance from him. I never get that consistent 7 out of 10. He's either a 9 or he's a 4. Like, literally, I can't make my mind up. He had a very poor World Cup where we literally kept an eye on him on a weekly basis. I've watched some Serie A games here and there, and I'm not going to lie to you, Lukaku looks like the better player out of those two, and Lukaku is our player. Who would I rather keep? I don't know. And in this case, I think Romelu's made his mind up. He's going to be leaving Chelsea. Going back to Inter and asking for Lauti is going to be super expensive. They're not going to let him go cheap. He's going to go for around £100 million. He's going to be tough to negotiate with, and I don't see this deal happening. I genuinely see us going in maybe for an Ivan Toney rather than a Martinez. Pochettino can ask for him all he wants, but the reality is these players cost money. And what, are we going to spend another 300 million? I highly doubt. But this is Todd Bowley's Chelsea. We need to be honest, we need to be realistic, and we just need to keep an eye on. Finally, yesterday was a very emotional day for Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva saw the beautiful mural that people have done for him, right? They gave him a banner. Not one, but two. They gave him two banners. Now, the first one's the massive Brazil flag with him in a Chelsea kit, and it's literally paying respects to a footballing great. And on the other one, it said he came from PSG to win the Champions League. And this, for me, is amazing, right? Thiago Silva's been with us, what, 3.5 years? 4 years? Thiago Silva already feels like a cult hero and already feels like a legend. Thiago Silva, for me, is arguably one of the best defenders of his generation and belongs in the top echelons of football conversation. Like, when you talk about one of the greatest of all time, Thiago Silva in the centre-back is one of the greatest of all time. He is a GOAT. He will always be considered. Like, if we're having a debate of ultimate centre-backs and we're saying, oh, you know what, Rio Ferdinand, Cannavaro, Sergio Ramos, John Terry, yes, I'm saying recent names, I'm saying the names that I've seen. Thiago Silva's up there and he belongs there. Maldini, Nesta, he belongs up there. I can't talk about defenders I've never seen. I find it very difficult to compare massive eras of where I've not seen this person. For all I know, he had mishaps and mistakes on a weekly basis, but we never saw about it or heard about it. So I find it very difficult to judge players against other eras unless I watched it. And for me, Thiago is one of the best. And yesterday after the game, his wifey came out on Instagram Live and said, number one, she thanked the Chelsea fans. She said all the love that we show her, all the love the match-going fans always reiterate to her. They sing Thiago Silva's name, they literally give her hugs, and they're just very positive around her. And you know what? His family have really integrated into the Chelsea way. Like, as soon as they came, the wife is wearing Chelsea t-shirts. She's always, come on Chelsea. The kids are in the Cobham Academy. Thiago's literally always tapping the chest. Like, it's little passion merchant things. But you know it works because the fans gravitate towards. The fans respect him and give him time. And what's nice is she came out and said, we're happy in London. We're not leaving. And once wifey says he's not leaving, happy wife, happy life. You know what I mean? He ain't going nowhere. So it's very nice to see that. We're going to have Thiago Silva for the next 2 years. I'm very happy about this because even yesterday, you guys watched my review, I spoke about what he done for Hall. There was one little instance in the game where, like, a corner comes in, Hall lets someone get run in front of him, and it's because he's flat-footed. Thiago straight away on him. Big man, you can't be doing that. You need to come out, you need to head of the ball. And for me, I absolutely love that. It's leadership on and off the pitch. It's a manager on the pitch. We need more of that at Chelsea. We need that in the backroom staff. Levi Colwill will benefit from that. Badi Ashile will benefit from that. Wesley Fofana will benefit from that. All of a sudden, we've got 4 phenomenal centre-halves. And I like that. I'm very happy. I hope you lot are happy. This is a good video. This is a positive video. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts, people, because this was a long one, but a great one. So, peace out. I'm out. Arrivederci.